When Multiversus finally had its full release, people were very angry, because the game had a lot of issues including bugs, glitches, and balancing issues. But now that Season 2 has been around for a bit, and a lot of those problems have been solved, not all of them, but most of them, there are still some small problems with the game, but there's one problem that is the biggest of all, and that problem is you. Yes, you heard it here first, you are the problem. Hello guys, my name is vaexsil, and today I'm going to be talking about how the biggest problem in Multiversus is the community. But first, let's start by talking about actual in-game problems before I put all the blame on you. As much as I can blame the community for stuff, I must admit that the game is far from perfect. There are quite a few problems with this game itself. For example, there is currently a bug in the game that has been ruining my games because I lose interactions for hitting my opponent. For those of you who don't know, sometimes when you hit an opponent, they don't receive any knockback and hit stun, which means that there is just a random chance that when you hit your opponents, they will take damage, but they won't go anywhere, and that sucks. I have lost a few important games because of this, and it's just really annoying. That is not the only bad thing though. The monetization in this game is really bad. If you for some reason want to buy every character in the game, it costs around 280 euros, which is around $309 for the Americans watching. This is just way too much. Grinding fighter currency is also really hard. I've been playing the game since the beta, and I've played almost every event for fighter currency and still need a few fighters. Unlocking characters in this game is way too expensive and way too hard. I do think that this will be fixed very soon though, since there are a lot of complaints about it. There's one more bug that I want to address, but won't go into detail about, and that's the floating on platforms and ledges glitches. The glitch basically is when you are jumping on a platform or you're on the wall and you jump to the edge of the stage, like the actual edge, you are basically floating on the ground and you can't move. You can get out of it by jumping or dodging, but it's still annoying since you do have to use one of your resources to get out of it. The last big flaw I want to talk about is ranked. I'm gonna try to keep this as short and simple as I can. The matchmaking is bad. When I was in gold, I was running into diamond and master ranked players, and now that I am in diamond, I am also facing players that are in gold or even silver, and that is just not fair, especially since they gain almost the exact same amount when they beat me as they would when winning against another gold player. Being forced to rematch is stupid. I personally don't mind it too much, but if you just want to play one quick game but you don't want to play with any stage hazards, I can't, because I have to finish the best of 3. Rematching should be an option and not forced. But I do believe that there should be a cap on the max amount of rematches you can do. That was a lot to take in, but let's head into why you are the biggest problem in Multiversus. Before we get into that though, I want to tell you guys that I have a second channel where I post gameplay videos of Multiversus, so go check that out after this video. The link will be in the description, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to the video. Now the whole reason I even started making this video is to tell you that you are the biggest problem with Multiversus. But why is that? Well, let me explain. We all know that Player vs Games loves to listen to us very well, and that is a really good thing, but not if they listen to literally everything the community says. See, there is something about humans that we can't deny, and that is that we love to complain. And the Multiversus community loves to complain about anything that comes their way. They get hit by a loop because they don't know how to DI, and instead of adapting and trying to overcome that, they just decide to cry like a baby on Twitter. And because Player vs Games loves to listen to their community, they will nerf it for that reason. For example, when Void uploaded his Striped video a while back, people figured out how to do gun cancels and get some pretty good combos and kill confirms off of it. And those combos were so cool, and really his only way to get good and quick damage, and he needed it because his skill power is pretty bad. But Player vs Games decided to listen to the community once again and got rid of it. And now Stripe barely has any kill confirms and little damage output. And he's quite a bit worse than he was in general now. I will say that some of the stuff he could do was very good, but it wasn't like he was a problem character at all, and barely anyone played him. And this is why, in my opinion, the game feels unbalanced and for some people kind of boring. Instead of complaining about the bad things like Jake and Velma, people will complain about anything that is slightly overtuned. And don't get me wrong, there are things in this game that also I think should be nerfed, but there's a lot more stuff that should be buffed. Instead of complaining about the slightly overtuned stuff and getting rid of the cool stuff, we should complain about the undertuned stuff and give bad characters some cool stuff so that they can stand a chance against every other character. Because if you get rid of all the cool stuff, there's no reason to play the game, in my opinion. But if we give more characters more cool things while making sure that the game is balanced, there are even more reasons to keep playing the game. And that is exactly what we want, or what I want at least. I genuinely think that doing this could save Multiversus from dying anytime soon. I really like the game, and I would love if the game didn't die anytime soon, or maybe even ever. The community really needs to step up their game, and they need to do it quickly. Now, I do want you guys to know that I really love the fact that Player First Games listens to the community and their concerns as much as they do. It's really amazing, and they are doing their absolute best to create a good and amazing game and a good community. But the community doesn't really realize that they are the ones creating the game that they hate. Like I said before, if the community complains about something, it will get changed as soon as possible. So instead of making every character feel boring and bad by nerfing the good things, let's make every character feel cool and good by being vocal about the bad things and buffing them in order to keep players hooked on the game. As mentioned before in this video, if you make every character feel bad and lame, people are just gonna stop playing the game, and that is the opposite of what we want. As someone who is part of the Multiversus community, I am kinda disappointed in the community and don't really want to be associated with them. Even though I didn't mention this when talking about why you are the problem, the community is very toxic for no reason at all, and that also ruins the game experience for a lot of players and makes them want to quit. And as a member of the Multiversus community, I want to say that we need to do better and come together to create the best game we and Player First Games can make to make sure that the game never dies. Now, this is going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know in the comments whether or not you agree with what I said, and let me know why. And if you're mad about it, you're probably part of the problem. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, a like and a sub would be greatly appreciated. Tips in the comments on how I can improve my content are always welcome, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.